Welcome into Municipal Auditorium, one of the most historic basketball arenas, not only in America, but in the world, for the MIAA championship game featuring the Central Oklahoma Broncos and the Missouri Southern State University Lions. Zach Mitchell and Stephen McTeer here with you from Kansas City, Missouri. And Zach, not the two teams that if you would have asked me before the tournament who was going to be in the championship game, I wouldn't have picked either of them, but they're both very deserving.
Well, that's why we have tournament formats. You have to actually play the games. It's not on paper. And these two teams right now are the hottest teams in Division II. You talk about the Broncos, they were a 5 seed coming in and just have dominated their side of the bracket. And the Lions, they've played with
Josh Gibbs for Central Oklahoma and Marcus Addison for Missouri Southern.
And they happen to both play
control it.
That's rule number one. You don't want to do, when you're in it against the 2-3 zone, you do not want to dribble when you're a big man down there in that paint.
Anderson was on a mission. He got fouled down underneath the basket. It'll be on the floor.
Just put his head down and was trying to be, I would say that's over aggressive, but again, right now you're down 6 and the offense is hard to come by. You might as well just go after it.
A foul win against Barlow. Gibbs has it now. Trying to go baseline. Turnaround jumper. Good defense there from Talbert. Rebound tipped around. It goes to Bairstow, and now Anderson.
For your man Gibbs to get on the court as well. You want to get him a touch every time.
Gibbs. He's heating up.
What I say? Hey, when you average 20-something a game, and when in the last 2 games he went for 18, and then he had 34 in the first round of this tournament, he better be seeing the ball every time down the court.
He has 9 of the 15 Bronco points. Addison. Wright goes over now to Barlow.
And you're seeing right now the Lions don't have that high-low offense they were using earlier. Nobody's in the high post. They've got 4 out and 1 inside.
Barlow can't answer. Gibbs pulls down the board.
And again, a 2-3 zone is basically that offensive set anyways. You have 1 man in the middle, and then you have 4 outside players. The Lions stepped right into that zone with the same formation. That's just asking for trouble.
Gibbs. Oh, good feed down low to Brown, and he lays it in. Gibbs is all over the place.
He's Mr. Everything for this team. He does everything. He's off, he rebounds, and with a nice dime. Some of those players can't score one-on-one, but when you give them a nice dish, they can finish.
Renfro counted in the foul.
Instant offense off the bench. He's a big guy, redshirt sophomore, but when you put him that close to the basket, he knows what to do with it.
17-14 Broncos up by 3. Gibbs in the last 3 possessions has 2 threes and a dime.
And not to mention a couple defensive rebounds as well. That's another reason they're kind of playing this zone. They're trying to hide him on defense. Now, by the way, Gibbs is an excellent defender, but he can't play 40 minutes of locking down the other team's best offensive player and carry. He's an important reserve piece for this Lions team.
Here's Everson into the game for the first time. Throw it up to Talbert, and he climbs the ladder.
Again, you play a 2-3 zone. You don't have 1 man. You got to pass them off to the next guy in your zone. A miscommunication right there in Talbert, the best athlete in this tournament. He knows what to do when you throw him the lob that pretty.
Here's Anderson. Gibbs. Talbert tempting him. His foot was on the line, but he knocks it down anyway.
But you see there the athleticism of Talbert. Even though Gibbs made the basket, Gibbs had about 2 to 3 feet of open space for that 3-pointer, and Talbert was giving him that shot because he's such a good athlete. He can elevate to contest it even with all that space.
Addison, right corner, pull up. No good. Rebound's going to go off of Talbert last. It'll be Bronco basketball. Into the game now for Missouri Southern will come Blaine Miller, getting his first entrance here into the championship.
You're going to have at least a few days off, so everything you've done the last couple of weeks has culminated to this event. So you have to bring your A game every play, and that sounds cliched, but when you know tomorrow you get a full day's rest, you're going to get to sleep in, but your body's tired right now, you get a little bit of adrenaline boost, and that allows even the best players to perform better than their usual. And right now, Gibbs has been all over the court, but he's not the only one. We've seen it for the Lions. Addison's had a couple nice-looking threes. Talbert with the alley-oop slam, as well as an assist to McGee. So all these players are really clicking right now. I mean, they've been around each other the last few days in the motel rooms, playing basketball here on this very fine court. And right now, you're seeing these pieces, these offensive pieces, beginning to gel. And we didn't see that earlier in the tournament when everybody was getting used to the new arena. But right now, you see both teams are really coming out firing on all cylinders.
Gibbs has 11 of the 19 Broncos points to go along with 2 rebounds and an assist. He's 2 for 4 from behind the arc, and the 2 that he hit were from way deep.
He's got a really good form. I don't know if he's a natural shooter. I think he's more of a natural scorer. But that form, if you allow him to step to it in rhythm, and his guards do an excellent side of basketball most players don't ever see.
Anderson can't lay it in. Talbert flew in for the rebound, went out of bounds. The referees are going to converse, and it'll be Bronco basketball.
And Talbert there was the victim of being too aggressive in his hustle play. If he might have let that one go, maybe sold it a little bit, it could be Lions basketball.
Bairstow in the corner. Offensive foul on Bairstow.
That is a call that I want to say is not necessarily a makeup call, but that's a referee trying to even the sides a little bit. I don't know how an offensive player can foul somebody by falling backwards because of contact that somebody else initiated.
Yeah, I don't know about that one. That's close.
Yeah. Usually if there are several whistles in a row,